Oh, Snoop.
Hmm.
Can you talk to me about Snoop coming to Compton and trying to get signed with your dad?
Oh, what? Back in the days,
Yeah.
that was normal. Of course, Snoop grew up. You know what he's gonna grow up to. He's right there next to the city. You know what I mean? Compton and Long Beach is his neighbors. You feel what I mean? So of course, him going through his transition, that was the first thing he do. Was just, NWA was NWA at the time, and let's just, of course, and it's easy for you guys to understand. Warren is his best friend. Warren's brothers with Dre. You already kind of understand of where, the introduction kept getting to. You know what I mean? I just, wish that, I myself wish that my father would have probably had more hands-on with knowing and grabbing that and signing Snoop, because that would have been hard. You know what I mean? But he went where he went. Success is where success. You know what I mean? My only thing is I just know his heart when he came in the rap game, of what he looked up to, you feel what I'm saying? And then where it had to transition to, your first couple of records was dissing, you know what I'm saying? But Snoop was hard, you know what I mean? I'm a big fan of Snoop despite what it was. And as you get older, you understand the truth of what things were. And it's just how it was, man. It's just a fucked up situation.
I would have loved to hear your dad and Snoop.
Oh,
They
my
would have
goodness.
sounded good on the track.
Oh my goodness, that would have been, what? That would have been supreme.
When I sat down with Money B recently, he told me a story about Tupac and your dad, and I believe Above the Law were in an elevator.
Uh-huh.
And I believe they were going to a show, and they ran into Death Row. Guns were pulled out, and it got a little wild, but everything was cool.
Yeah, it was some shit. We was in the elevator, and then I think it was Warren G or somebody, but him and Eazy had some words. But we were with Above the Law, getting ready to go perform the song we did with him, and then it was like some words back and forth, and cats was about to pull out guns and shit. But
You're saying that Tupac was kind of getting a little too involved or close to it?
Yeah, in my opinion, he was acting a little bit too close to, just because two cats are fighting, if you don't know what's happening and you know all of the people, I didn't think we had any business trying to get involved.
Do you hear stories about that, about your dad a lot?
No situation where he had to pull no gun out or be in any type of fear, but I do know that story when Above the Law was with Cube, and I mean not with Cube, with Tupac and my father. You know what I mean? The introduction, first and foremost, I think started with Tretch, who worked with my father from Naughty by Nature. And I want to say Tretch made the introduction, maybe not, maybe it was Digital Underground. Money B might know more though from that night, but Above the Law did do a record with Money B and Tupac. And my father and Ren was in that video. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if he's talking about that night, but that's true. They were all together at that video shoot. Not knowing who they ran into, I never heard that one. You know what I mean? But of course, yeah, my father and Tupac definitely met each other.
Yeah, man, that would have been dope too.
Oh,
Man.
yeah, but hey, what they say, devil's advocate always can mess up some good stuff, huh?
What do you think your dad would be doing if he was still alive?
Oh my goodness, man. Just put it this way. He was doing speakers. He would have been doing headphones. He was already doing the lowrider game where you could sit here and possibly go and do lowriders and people could run up and jack them or take them and you could do stuff. What game does that sound like? Grand Theft Auto. So you got to think in 1993, 94, these ideas was already there. He was in the movies. He brought the Hughes brothers who did Menace to Society out here, showed them Compton, showed them Watts, showed them around. They do a movie called Menace to Society. You know what I mean? He ownership of one of the biggest movies, Boys in the Hood. He did a script himself. So Cube said this one time on an interview. My father was like Yoda, just knew stuff before the time of it going. And then here we go now in this generation, and you tell me how big are headphones?
Oh yeah, huge.
How big are DVDs, video games? In that nature, that type of video game, it turned into Grand Theft Auto. You feel what I'm saying? Movies. I mean, rappers transitioned to doing movies, executive producers. Biggest thing that he was he's buying a warehouse all through Compton. It was going to be a distribution company. So this is 93, 94. So you just put a man's mind cap in saying, hey, he's doing all this before we really had internet, We had computers that were up to waha. We had no laptops and no social media and none of that like down there. So you're talking about a man who was doing things of a thought process back in the early 90s that just got taken away too fast. So imagine what he would have been doing, or, you know what I mean?
Business-wise, huge.
Oh my goodness, yeah. You know,
he would have been the first hip-hop billionaire.
Very much. There you go. Exclamation point. There you go. There you go. Because he owned it already. Wasn't going somewhere to try to own it, to make it. He owned it already and was going in his vision. Boom Thugs and Harmony's coming out. He signed will.i.am. Look how big, you know what I mean, these individuals he had in his passing. You feel what I'm saying? So he was, what we've been doing, oh my goodness, sky's the limit.
It's been wild, man.
Yeah, bro, yeah.
Well, so what do you got coming up? You, I believe you were telling me you had a record label.
Yeah, Rich and Ruthless. That was one of my artists. She's actually here in the studio with us, LaToya Lane. She's from the Bay Area. I got my brother, baby Eazy. I got Kiki Smooth, Hispanic rapper, first Mexican rapper out of Compton. I got my homeboy Compton Musa. So those are my core base of artists. Myself, you know, I'm on Growing Up Hip Hop, so we're getting ready to greenlight another season of that next month. So doing that and just focusing on getting my EP out while working on my artist EP. The first one I'm going to put out is my artist LaToya Lane, the first female on our label. And then she's a good writer, so she's helping creativity on my project as well, titled Yellow Brick Road to Compton. And man, just doing that. I got a medical marijuana brand that I've been doing for the last 3 years called Rich and Ruthless Cannabis, which is the evolution of hip hop and marijuana. You know, we go hand in hand. So, you know, just you know, trying to stay busy in entrepreneurship and continuing this legacy any way that I possibly can. You know, we've been doing merchandise that everybody can follow what I'm on littleeasye.com, real simple, littleeasye.com, and really find everything there that we have going on that I can continue to keeping this legacy going.
Man, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, bro.
I'm excited to hear it.
Appreciate it.
To hear the music,
Appreciate
man, everything
it, brother.
you got coming up, man.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate your time, bro. This was lovely.
Yeah, man. I appreciate
That's
you
real,
also,
bro.
man.
That's real.
This was dope, man. We had a dope conversation.
For sure. Yes, bro.
Dope stories, man. You know, I know the fans are gonna love it.
Oh yeah, most definitely,
You
most
know?
definitely, brother. It was a pleasure, brother. For
You
sure,
too,
for sure.
man.
That was real.